I love training. After all, who doesn't love free coffee and tea, free food, and above all, a chance to get away from your boss at the office? When I was a poor university student, I used to remember going quietly to the tea and coffee table at training and then waiting for everyone to leave before I stuffed all the tea bags into my coat pockets. Unfortunately, there isn't any tea bags for me to steal at this virtual conference, but I hope you are enjoying a cup of tea as you listen to me share today. Over the years as a social worker, I've realized that I have plateaued. Maybe that's you today. Despite working very hard, you feel like your skills are plateauing and you don't seem to be getting any better. Today I hope to share some insights in my personal journey to improve and hope it helps you in your very own journey to improve as well. But before we go into how to improve, let's look at the why. It's very difficult to understand how to improve if we don't know what successful social work looks like. Am I a failure as a social worker if my client doesn't meet the outcomes that I want? As a surgeon, if I kill someone, I'm less successful. But in social work, am I more successful if I meet more clients, close more cases, or save more money for the local authority? Not knowing what success looks like and not knowing how to measure that success makes it difficult for us to know where we want to go in social work and how we can get there. And so today, to get better at social work, we need to first define for ourselves what success is. Defining success based on our actions rather than the outcomes that we attain ensures that we can be a success today. For example, success for me means coaching young people to understand, unlock, and unleash their fullest potential. That means that I'm a success if today I'm able to help a youth to understand what is within them and to give them the stage to express their potential. Today I want you to pause this video at this moment and to write down the actions you think are what success means to you as a social worker. Clarifying the end goal makes it easier to think about how we will get there. Secondly, we need to stick to our superpowers or our strengths. Maybe today, in appraisals and supervisor meetings, many people have told you what to improve on, and you keep working on those weaknesses with no apparent improvement. Why? Because as social workers, we are human, and we aren't perfect. We aren't perfect. And so today, sticking to our superpowers and forgetting our weaknesses helps us to amplify what makes us good and make it even better. Therefore today, I want you to ask yourself, what is the one unique thing you bring to an organization? What is the one thing that colleagues and clients say is good about you? What is so special about you? And then I want you to break that skill down into its respective components. For example, if you are good at counseling, then think, how can I help myself to understand someone else's thinking better? And then, how can I help someone else to understand their own thinking better? By breaking them into its respective components, deliberately practicing them, and putting ourselves in the opportunities that will stretch and challenge the use of the skills, we can improve. Lastly, I want us to ask for more money in our jobs. Yes, you didn't hear me wrong. Ask for more money in your jobs. Very often we think that as social workers, we are here for the people, not the profit. And that is good. But I also see many social workers who have suffered because of the kind pay packages that they accept from their employers. When I was receiving coaching from a speaker, the first question he asked me was, John, how much would you charge for your first speech? I said, maybe £50. At this point, I thought it was crazy because goldfish would be billionaires because that's all they do, just open and close their mouths. Then he said, no, John, you were charged 2,000 for your first keynote speech. And then he said something that still stays with me today. He leaned in and he whispered, John, if you don't value yourself, no one will value you. Today, asking for more money in social work is not about being mercenary. It's about recognizing the value you bring and also the value you leave behind. How many of us recognize the value of a life saved from a young person who might have committed suicide, the lives of a young family in domestic abuse, or the hope that we bring on a daily basis? If you value yourself and pay yourself peanuts and ask for peanuts, you will see yourself as a peanut. Asking for more money helps us to ask more of ourselves. You are only going to get as good as you value yourself. So today, value yourself for the impact that you bring, and more importantly, the impact that you leave behind on people's lives. Defining our own success, sticking to our strengths, and asking for more money are countercultural to social work. But I want to share with you a quote from Apple's Think Different campaign in 1997. And it reads, here's to the crazy ones, the ones who see things differently. While some see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Today, defining your own success, asking for more money, and sticking to your strengths differentiates you. Why is this important? Because you, yes, you, are the difference maker.